Beautiful soul, welcome to today's Sunday Soul Chat. So, today we're going to be talking about what it means to be on a spiritual journey and how you ascend further into it. Like, what are the signs and the shifts that start to happen within your life that you can start to notice? So, first, let's identify what it means to be on a spiritual journey. So, I feel like a lot of people confuse this because there's just so much stuff out there, so much content that's created about spirituality, and it can get really confusing. So, in essence, going on a spiritual journey, or I am on a spiritual journey, is you discovering who you are at soul level. What is soul? So, what is soul? And that's the same for all of us. And then, what does it mean for you and your purpose for your soul, right? So, what is your soul purpose in this lifetime? And then two, what is soul? And as you identify and discover and start to put these things together in terms of um, who you are at soul level and what it is that soul is for you, you start to create a distance between who you're not, right? And so in majority of our human experience, we're living from a aspect of ego. And this aspect is very much attached to how we identify at our human level, right? So as a human, I am, whatever you identify as your race, your gender, your name, your title, etc., etc., etc. And the ego is attached to all of these things, but the soul is not. And so when you're going on your spiritual journey, you start to discern between these two worlds. And as you start to discern with these two worlds, you start to create a shift within your consciousness, which starts to create a shift within your reality. And here are the shifts that start to happen. So the very first thing is you start to become very clear about who you are. There's a lot of clarity in who you are as you go further into your spiritual journey, as you ascend. And in this case, you start to have very firm non-negotiables and boundaries. And you start to set these boundaries to protect your energy because you understand that the one and only thing that matters is your soul purpose. Nothing else matters. Your soul purpose is why you came to this earth and to this lifetime, and that is the only thing that matters. And so you start to create boundaries to preserve your energy and save your energy to serve this purpose. Um, Non-negotiables are those things that you no longer have any tolerance for. So they're like rules, but they're things that you just like, they're non-negotiables. Like, you do not negotiate on these terms. And those are very, very clear to you, and you don't feel bad about them. Like, you don't have any guilt about it because you know that these non-negotiables are the things that are going to bring you the fulfillment because you are very much clear about your purpose on earth in this lifetime. So those two things are very, very important. Those are probably the first two things that will show up. Then you start to disengage with things that are related to your ego. So things like people pleasing, things like I need validation from so and so or such thing, things like running after materialistic aspects, like, running after a certain job title or money or status, or kind of like the whole competing against like your neighbor or your friends or any of those things. Like, those things start to really fade away and they don't even become a part of your reality anymore. And you start to also understand that you don't need to do these things because these come from a fear and lack mindset. You're now in the frequency of love and gratitude. And this is the last thing. You start to become so grateful for everything in your life, and you're in this frequency of love that, like, when somebody is around you, all they feel is this energy of love and gratitude. Like, it's like, even if they're not in that frequency or that energy, they feel it from you, and you're able to share that with them.